Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy djTLM. You're checking out djTLMtv. Now, what I want to do right here is give you guys an on-the-spot review of the videos that did not make it into my Saturday Super Session Part 7. So, call this a review evaluation of the videos. I'm not going to put your name in there. So, if you see yourself, you'll know it's you. But I don't need to add names. Now, the reason I'm doing this is hopefully more of you can gain something from this for the next time you try to enter one of these scratch compilation efforts. So I have to say in advance, a couple of the videos that I'm going to show made it into my maybe folder. So that means that initially I thought they had something. So either the skill level was up to par or okay, but there were a couple of other things that were bothering me a bit, and I was like, all right, I'm putting these in a maybe stack, and if I don't receive enough submissions, I'll have those and I'll put them in. Now in this case, and that has been the case for the last couple of sessions, I definitely received enough submissions. So I did take another look at the maybe stack, took 2 or 3 videos out of that maybe stack and added them, and the rest did not make it. So you guys almost made it. Now every time I run into a video that's a maybe, I'll let you know, so you know that you were on the right path. The rest of the videos is from the rejected folder, and I'm just going to try and explain with every video why. Hopefully that'll help. Some cases, I'll say that too right now, it was my fault because I should have added certain things to the rules and guidelines. Things that I have added in previous sessions, but I forgot to add it in this one. So even though that's my fault, I still didn't add them. Yeah, so that's basically it. Let's just take a look at some of these videos. First one. That's the intro. Here we go. Yeah, this is one of the maybes. So the scratches were not that bad. Not that bad at all. The thing that bothered me most is you did not take use of the 4 bars. 4 bars is not a lot. It's over before you know it. And I thought it was really a waste of precious bars that the entire last bar, that entire 4th bar, is just the sample. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not really using it the right way. And the timing of release was, I don't know, it didn't make enough sense. So the cutting skills were okay, but you definitely did not take advantage of the bars. The first bar started and you only came in after 2 counts. So 1, 2, then you started scratching, and you stopped scratching very early. But this is not a release your sample session. It's a scratch session. So you want to scratch as much as possible. But this was a maybe. This almost made it in. All right. Like this. Couple of things with this one. This is also a maybe because the scratches sound good enough, but there's something wrong with this video. I'm not sure what it is, but the scratches and so the audio and video don't match up some of the times, and some of the times it seems like they do. So I'm not sure if you did the same pattern a couple of times and then put the audio of one version over another part of the video, but in some cases I see stuff moving. Let me play that back one more time. Like this. Hold up, let me check one more time. Like this. No, there's clearly a part where you're moving the vinyl back and forth and you do not hear a cheeky sound. That was weird to me. Second thing, and I did not put that in the rules or guidelines in this session, but I've said that in all previous sessions, do not mess with the video. So no special effects or stuff like that. So in this case, there's definitely an effect going on because we have the circular part and the rest has been faded, and it's black and white. So please do not alter the video. So that kind of bothered me, but what's really off is the audio and video is not matching up at all times. So I don't know what happened here. It made it into the maybe, but no, something was just off. So maybe that's the case, that you put different audio under these video under this video file, but something is very off. All right, next one.
Saturday. Super session. Saturday. Super session.
So a couple of things here. The scratches weren't that great. I commend you for the sample, Saturday Super Session. It's funny, but the timing of the sample doesn't really work with the beat. But there's a more important part. It's 4 bars of scratching, technically, but you started in the middle of a phrase. You can hear that because after the first 2 bars, it switches into a new phrase because you hear that boom, 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 that extra sample coming in. That would mess me up in my edit. I have that beat play on all your videos, so all the scratches are 4 bars, which allows me to take some that were taken with one phrase, some with the other phrase. If you then give me a part of 4 bars where 2 bars are of one phrase and 2 bars are of the other phrase, that's not correct. So if you do not know how to count, then you're probably you don't understand what I'm talking about right now. Let me just rewind. So this is the part where you strictly hear that na-na-na, na-na. So check it out. The scratches begin.
Saturday. Super session.
And there you hear that sample. So the scratches were okay. The sample was cool, but it didn't really flow with the beat. And you just started at the wrong bar. You started at bar 3 of a phrase instead of bar 1. All right. Next. All right, so a couple of things right here. The scratch technique was not that tight. It's a baby scratch, but it just wasn't on point. It wasn't tight enough. You're using a kick drum for your scratch, which works sometimes, but in this case, it doesn't sound that good. Plus, it sounds almost louder than the beat. Then, if we're looking at the video, you shot this from an angle where we can hardly see the scratch. So if you look at that again, I can see part of your hand, but it's mostly blocked by the hand that's on the fader. So if you would have moved your camera from behind and put it next to the set, that would have been so much better. But even then, the scratches just weren't good enough in this case. All right, next. Branding. So basic scratches, most of the basic scratches were definitely okay. It's that last one where you try to go fast, that just wasn't tight enough. So in this case, it would have been better if you would have just stuck to doing the basic scratch you were doing before and just do that for 4 bars. I know it's cool to have like a extra special ending, do something special, but in this case, that just didn't sound good enough. So sometimes it's better not to try to do extra, but keep it more basic until you really master that extra as well. All right. Next up. we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I hope you caught my count right there. So it doesn't matter that you waited the first 4 bars when the beat came in. That's perfectly fine. You can wait as long as you want, as long as I get my 4 bars of scratches. Then you do 2 bars of scratching, and then you stop for 2 bars, and then you go again. So that's not how this works. I need 4 bars of scratching. The scratches were okay. They were okay. So probably if you just did a 4-bar part, I think this could have made it in. But in this case, it definitely couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And this video continues for a long time, and you keep doing the same thing. Couple of scratches, then you wait, couple of scratches, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not what I want. I need 4 bars of scratches and no more, no less. All right, what do we have here? Let me bring it back. So the starting point is pretty weird, but I can listen through that. So it starts at the end of a phrase almost where there's already a scratch. I'm okay with that. After that, you hear a new kick. That's the new one. I'll start counting from there. So let me just count it. All right, so there are a couple of things wrong there. It's not starting on a clean 1, but the one that comes in is not the 1. It's, again, a 3. You can hear that phrase change in the middle of the scratches. The scratches were okay, but the audio was a big problem on this one. You got that very hollow sound, reverb sound from the room. You can almost hear the fader clicks louder than the scratches. So it's good to record and then really listen back to test if the audio is working good enough. So let me just count the scratches just for fun. I don't even think it's 4. All right, so way too many. That was like 7 bars. Started at the wrong bar. I need 4 bars. No more, no less. All right. This is another thing that I mentioned in earlier sessions, not this one. Don't put branding in the video. I will always put your name, city, and country in the video. You can see that in every session that I've posted online. This messes up the video. Just the fact that you have IG and FB written there, so your Instagram and Facebook, I get that. And then your handle, but that messes up the video. I don't want that in the screen. I have my own style that I'll use, and everyone's name will be there in the same exact way. Now, what I might add for the next session is that people can get to put their IG or Twitter handle in there, but not in the video. Send it to me in the info, but we'll see when the next session comes around. So even without listening, that's a no-no, but I forgot to put that in the guidelines. So let's just check it out. I like the mixer though. I guess we're waiting for 4 bars. There's the thing. I hope you heard. Look, man, you're all into branding. You're scratching your own name. I'm actually fine with that. And I like the scratches. Count with me. 3 bars of scratching. The 4th bar is empty, and the video gets cut off before the 4th bar even ends. So that's not 4 bars of scratching. So that's a pity, because it's a shame. If you did 4 bars of that scratching, code red, that would have been dope. So skills were not the problem. The branding was a problem, but that was my fault for not mentioning it. But you gave me 3 bars, so that's why I could not add it. You'll be in next time if you send me new scratches. I don't doubt it. Oh yeah, same thing here. This is not branding, but if you're going to be using a free version of video editing software, that's the case here. That's why you got that stamp, that watermark in there, made with KineMaster. You don't want that in your video, so you'll have to try and find either a free replacement that doesn't have that watermark, or buy some software. But let's go into the scratches. Hold up. Couple of weird things happening there. The beat starts to fade out while you're still scratching at the end of the 4th bar. Don't do that. Don't edit stuff like that. But the scratches at certain points just weren't tight enough. So a couple of things there. The scratches were a little bit off. Again, the branding in the screen, and more importantly, also at the end, it sounds weird. The beat fades out. I don't know why you did that, but don't alter the beat in any way for next time. All right, so let's go into this video right here. So that right there was a perfect fader click video if this was the fader click sessions. So I hope that's pretty obvious when you hear that. In this case, I don't even have to judge the scratches. I'll do that. I can do that. But that audio just doesn't work. You need to find a better way to record the audio. Let me just judge the scratches anyway. Now, in all honesty, I see your fingers doing a lot of crab type movements. I don't hear that back in the scratch. The scratch sounds pretty cool, but it almost sounds like a normal, if a baby scratch, I can't hear the crab. Maybe it is coming through there, but we can't hear that, maybe due to the audio quality. So, but the audio quality really ruined this video. So you need to find a better way to record the audio. That's really important. It doesn't have to be perfect, but in this case, it's almost impossible for me to hear if what you're doing to the fader is actually having an effect. So that's never a good thing. All right, check it out. That's another example of trying to do a little bit too much. You were into a basic baby, but you wanted to add that extra fast one, and it just was not tight enough. That really went off beat. So that's a clear case of not mastering a skill yet, but wanting to do a little extra. And I understand. I totally understand. You got that baby scratch pretty much down. Could improve still, but it's working. But you want to do a little extra, but that just wasn't on beat enough. So keep on practicing, and then you should be able to get in. I'm stopping it here. I'm already at 9 bars. Your scratch level was up to par. You could make it in, but I need 4 bars. So pretty clear why that's not making it in. That was like 9 bars. All right, next. Did you notice anything? Let me just play a little part of that last one and then listen to the new one. So the scratch was dope. It was not 4 bars of scratching, but more importantly, that beat is playing way too slow. Now, that's one of the things that's clearly mentioned in the rules guidelines. You got to play it at 0. I need to have all beats playing at the same tempo because I have to turn that into a seamless mix. And that doesn't work when we also have different tempos going on. So that's the main reason. Now, a couple of extra tips. Try to get a little bit more light in there. It's almost impossible to clearly see the entire controller. And give me 4 bars because your scratches were dope. The scratch was dope, but it was too short. So two bars of dope scratches. Give me 4 next time. Play that beat at 0 and you're in. All right. Next up. Here we go. So I remember the scratches were okay. They weren't bad. They were okay. The audio is pretty annoying. You hear a lot of reverb from the room, a lot of fader clicks, and you have a lot of extra stuff in there that's making noise. I think the aquarium is giving a noise. I think I'm hearing some sort of fan. So a lot of noise. And the angle could have been better because half of the time your platter hand is blocking the fader hand, which makes it harder to see. And the last part where you let it go, that was just a weird sound. So it was okay, but this could definitely be a little bit better. Take it one more time. See how your hand is blocking your other hand when you move that? Half of the time your arm is blocking, so we can't see the rest. So get a better angle. That's one. So you're actually, when you want to let the sound go, you're not letting it go, but you have your hand moving backwards. So you're spinning it back, then letting it go, and then the sound goes forward. So next time when you want to let it go on beat, you want to make sure that when you're scratching, you let it go forward. So either just let it go or push it forward, but don't push it back and let it go, and then it comes in. So a little more practice and you should be able to get in on the next one. Better angle, a little bit better audio, you're good. Audio is not that great. A little bit, I don't know, could be better, but it's pretty obvious. We got 8 bars of scratching. Reduce that to 4, and you would have been pretty okay. Definitely. I have to say, even though the angle is pretty good, it would have been doper to see a little bit more of the platter hand and a little bit more of the fader hand. So I like it, but it would have been better if we could see a little bit more. This one really bothered me for the simple fact that the scratches were dope. The scratches were dope. It started out real funky. I really liked it. But this was not 4 bars. It was more. So the other tip, like I said, if you would get that camera or phone, whatever you're using, a little bit further away so we could see a little bit more of the platter, that would have been better. Plus, the fact that you're so close to the fader also gives us a lot of fader clicks, and you can really hear them. But the scratches were dope. So, yeah, that's too bad. If you would have stopped at that 4, I would have even accepted this one, even with the audio and the angle. I would have definitely accepted this video, but it goes on. So, next time.
Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down.
Again, not 4 bars. Scratch level was okay. Definitely room for improvement. But there's something weird going on there. I think you actually put 2 parts together, because after your first 4 bars, you hear a glitch, and then we get 4 more bars. So, yeah, that's a shame. This probably would have made it in if you gave me 4 bars, especially with that last part. The timing was cool. Holding it down, get down. You did that on point. I like that. But again, too long, too many bars. I think that's the last one. So hopefully I got all of them. I think I did, all of the rejected ones and the maybes that didn't make it in. I hope this is helpful. And as you can tell, for some of you, it's simply a fact of maybe studying a little bit more to see how much a bar is, because some of these scratches were really dope, but it was just too long. And yes, you could say that I could have taken some of these and just cut them after 4 bars. That's true. But there's a reason, like I said, why I have these rules and guidelines. I don't want extra work, and that means that I really need you guys to follow the rules and guidelines, because if I get a piece with 8 bars, I know myself. I'm going to study those 8 bars to see which one of the 4 were doper, the first 4 or the second 4, because I want to take your best bars. That's extra work. I did that on earlier sessions. Some people sent me like 12 bars, and I'm really checking like, okay, this part is dope. Then there's just a little part in it that isn't that cool. Let me take that part. I don't want any of that. It shouldn't take me extra work. That's really important. So I hope this is helpful, especially for people thinking about joining one of the next sessions. A couple of things to just keep in mind. You want to try and get your video quality up, and lighting is important. I've said that in advance, and you can tell that there's a lot of videos in here that still look a little bit dark. Once you get more lights in there, you can improve the quality. Right now, I don't look as good as I do now. Lights really help. It's just a fact. Audio, very important. If you only have the option to record the sound that's in the room, so you have a camera that's recording everything, you want to make sure that you're not too close to your mixer so you get all the fader clicks, because that's really distracting. But you want to make sure that it's loud enough so we can actually hear it. Don't make it too loud. So a couple of simple things to keep in mind. Try to get good audio, good video, and then, of course, you want to make sure your skills are up to par. You master the scratch that you perform, Don't go overboard if you're not on that level yet. And very important, stick to the bars. So if it's a 4-bar rule, do 4 bars of scratching. You can send me a video that starts with 4 bars of just the beat, or 8 bars of just the beat, and then you start scratching. But when you start scratching, I want 4 bars, no more, no less. Now, I'm actually pretty sure that I missed a bunch of videos. I don't know what it is. Let me see what happens if I continue. Is there? No, there's not more here. I'm very, very sure actually that I'm missing some videos right now. Damn, those are actually pretty important to find, because I know that there were, I think at least 5, 6, or 7 videos that had scratches that were okay. But what all of you did wrong was you did not end after 4 bars. All of you ended on the 1 count of the next bar, so bar 5. All right, I looked, I can't find it right now. Let me just see if I can take one of these and give you guys the example I'm talking about, even though it's not in there. So let me take one that has too many bars in here. So imagine that you start right here. So I'm going to count to 4, and I'm going to show you what I mean, that you did not stop at 4 or at 5. So you end your scratch on that new 1. So I have like 5, 6, 7 videos that did that. The problem with that is you are ending on a bar, on the beginning of a bar that's already for the next DJ. So if you have 4 bars, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's it, you're done. But a lot of you ended your scratch, let the sound go after your 4 bars, and then you let it go on that 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Well, that point where you let it go, that is not your beat anymore. That's for the next DJ. So what happens there is that's going to give me editing problems, because a lot of DJs did start their new scratch on the 1, and if your scratch ends on the 1, I have to play those sounds through each other. That's extra work for me. I want to make sure that if I do that, it has to be correct sonically. So no, that's not your bar anymore. So my apologies. If I do find those videos, I'll even do extra video on it. But I hope you understand what I mean if you were one of those DJs. This was helpful. Let me know if this was helpful. Then I'll continue to do this with every Saturday super session. And if you have any more questions about your video or about what you saw here, let me know. You can send me an email or do it in the comment section. Join the conversation, share the knowledge. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notifications button, and follow me everywhere on social. The handle is djTLM. All right, I'll be back soon. Later.